In this world, we might even say that there's an epidemic of loneliness. We live in a time where, even though there's sort of more capacity for connection than maybe ever, at least in one way, human beings often find themselves in a place of feeling deeply lonely, which is an interesting thing, that we have all these tools for connection, and yet many of us still feel quite alone in a way that we might call lonely. I like to think about that over the past, thousands of years, human beings have been writing a great story, the myth of separation. And, a myth is a sacred tale. And in it, human beings are often grappling with this sense of separation. Now, separation in one way is a gift because it allows us to reflect on the world. It allows us to reflect on ourselves. There's a space between our knower and what it is we're knowing. And so in that gap, that's only possible because there's a distance, there's a separation there. So there's a lot of beautiful things that come from that. At the same time, as we're writing this story, trying to make sense of what does it mean to be human, we often can fall under the spell of fracture, where we believe that we're indeed actually separate from each other or disconnected from some deeper aspect of ourself. And one of the things that this can lead to is the pain of loneliness. One of the questions that we're often asking here at Newfield is, how do we address the deeper reasons that are underneath human suffering? What are some of the deeper reasons that lead us to cause harm to each other? That lead us to be in a moment in history when we believe that we need to agree with each other in order to get along, in order to love each other and hold each other with respect and dignity. We think agreement is somehow a requirement in order for those other things to happen. And so we have been holding this question for many decades and continue to hold this question of, what do we have to pay attention to in order to enact meaningful change in our lives so that we have greater capacities to interact in such a way that it creates less suffering, that it draws forward more possibility in what it means to be human. And so one of the things that we found is that it's essential that we take a look at how we are making meaning, because the way in which we're making meaning has a huge impact on how we move in the world.